Welcome to another episode of the Vegan Pulse. I am your host, Nancy Arenas. Today, my guest is Philip Nicozisis. Philip is a public speaker, an activist for the vegan lifestyle. He is credentialed as a health educator from Hippocrates Health Institute in West Palm Beach, Florida. He is also a World Peace Diet facilitator. His vegan activism has taken him to 16 countries around the world. Philip's music instrumentals are currently featured in movies, TV, and radio via Universal Records. He is also the best-selling author of Half Laptop, Will Travel, Memoirs of a Digital Nomad, which became a #1 in 7 countries. Stick around. I want to introduce him to you. Hello, Philip. How are you?
Doing fantastic here in West Palm Beach, Florida. It's a beautiful sunny day. Right here on the water. Can you see the palm tree in the back?
I can. It's awesome.
Great to be with you.
Thank you. And I appreciate you being on the show so we can talk about your journey into veganism, if we could start there.
Sure, be happy to. So it's actually, I celebrated my 10th vegan anniversary this past May. And it all happened in Bikram Yoga Studio. If you've ever been to hot yoga, and after the class, I mean, it's like a torture chamber in there if you've ever been to Bikram. After the class, a guy was standing outside of the room handing out wheatgrass shots. And I took a shot of the wheatgrass. And actually, this is my Hippocrates sprout juice. And after I drank it, my body came alive. I was like, what is this stuff? He's like, well, I just got out of the health educator program at 9 weeks at Hippocrates Health Institute, right up here in West Palm Beach, 8 miles up Okeechobee by the turnpike. I'm like, what? I've never heard of this place. So that was like just kind of hit me over the head. A shot of wheatgrass. My body knew those 93 vitamins and minerals out of 104 found in soil, gives you everything you need. Just my body knew right away, this is the way to go. This is like a path worth pursuing. And I went there, I had a meal, I went to the store, they had all kinds of vitamins and everything, but I enrolled in the 3-week program. And so, like they say, I'd rather be lucky than good, because I was very lucky to be only 8 miles from the foremost healing center in the world, Hippocrates Health Institute. I'm not an employee, I'm not I'm not pushing them. I'm just saying the best decision I ever made was to go into their 3-week program. Besides marrying my wife this year, the second best decision I made was to enroll in the 3-week program. And, I remember my first grade teacher, Mrs. Ryder, told us in first grade, anything you do for 3 weeks becomes a habit. And did you know even your taste buds change over every 3 weeks? So I was eating raw vegan with wheatgrass and juice in the morning and sprout juice in the afternoon, and fasting on Wednesdays, and psychotherapy and blood work on the first day and blood work on the last day. And the blood work at the end of 3 weeks, even if it's a vegan now, I mean, I don't really eat raw so much anymore. And, I'm a vegan, but not a saint. I still drink wine. I drink wine, but anyway, the delta between going in as a non-vegan on the first day of that 3-week program at Hippocrates, right, and at the end was like night and day, like cholesterol from 250 to 160.
Wow.
So I think you asked me the time of day, and I told you how to make the watch. So I'm giving you a really long-winded answer. That was my beginning, just that sip of wheatgrass, deciding to enroll in the 3-week program, which, by the way, I didn't have time for. Everybody I did business with was mad at me, including my family in our family business. Everybody was really pissed. Not only that I was taking 3 weeks off, but to do what? Have you lost your mind? Now, 10 years later, my parents have celebrated recently their 3-year vegan anniversary, and they're in their 80s. They went through the program. So it's been a blessing to be part of Hippocrates, and then to be so inspired to share the vegan message actually around the world in 13 countries through the World Peace Diet and Will Tuttle. And, you get excited about something and you just want to tell people about it and maybe do something about it. And that's part of the path that I've been on.
Well, that's awesome. And congrats on your wedding.
Thank you very much. Yeah, that's first time ever. I'm 54 years old, first time. So, so far so good, and that's great. It's great.
And now you talked about traveling different countries. You are credentialed through Hippocrates Health Institute, and you're also a World Peace Diet facilitator. So you go around giving speeches at events?
Yeah, well, I got to admit, up until the pandemic, that was my thing. And that's, as you know, that's been cooled off. And actually, I applaud you and commend you and have a high regard for folks like you who took, lemons and made lemonade. And you made this this show because of what happened in the world, which, let's face it, changed the arc of human history. And some of it's good, and most of it probably is pretty bad. Being vegan, I believe in freedom for everyone, the animals, for us, freedom of movement around the world is a very important thing for me. So much so that 3 years ago, and we've spoken about this, I decided to take a trip around the world for a year as a digital nomad. And I ran my real estate business through my smartphone and laptop. And I ended up writing this memoir, which is now in the second edition, just came out. And we're gearing for Barnes & Noble shelf space this fall. And we passed 10,000 copies sold with almost no marketing. And I think the reason is because it's a travel book about what it's like to be around the world. And I think it struck a chord with people. And there's some very prominent vegan themes in the book as well.
Awesome. So you took a year off to travel to different countries and just work out of your laptop and your phone.
Yes. Yeah,
it was actually the new norm, right?
It was, and I think that it still can be. I joined a program called Remote Year, a company that gathered teams, and they had the whole itinerary planned out. So we couldn't just go anywhere we want. It was 12 cities, 12 months, 10 countries, 4 continents. And they found our apartments for us. I had roommates for the first time in decades. And, like I said, the book is 12 chapters about 12 cities, 10 countries, 4 continents, with a team of 48 others who, them like me, ran our businesses or worked for companies through our smartphone and laptop for a year of, you can only imagine, traveling through Asia, traveling through Europe, traveling through South America and Mexico, a year of unforgettable connections, unforgettable stories that I tried to pick out the best ones to relay in the book. There's all kinds. There's broken bones, broken cell phones, broken hearts. There's a lot of positive things. There's a romance story. In the first edition, there's a different kind of ending. In the second edition, there's a surprise ending, and well, I can tell you the surprise is that I ended up marrying my wife, who I met in Thailand, and so it all worked out. So I'm here. I'm smiling and happy to be here with you, sharing the vegan message, and maybe what it means. And it's really like a journey. It's just, you walk through a door. Now you're vegan. You think that you really know what's going on, but it's just the beginning. And there's in the here and now, I can tell you, I feel like it's never been easier to be vegan, but at the same time, it's never been harder. And what I mean by that is all these pretend foods that are now vegan, that mimic the standard American diet, are, processed food. They're not very good for you. And, I, for one, have gained weight from it. At the same time, I've really gotten into weight training and bodybuilding. So I've offset some of that. But, think about 10 years ago, when you were a vegan and you went to a restaurant. It was it was real simple. Just give me these sides. Make sure you don't put any butter on them. Remember that? Give me the string beans. Give me the potatoes. Give me the sauteed mushrooms. And make sure they use olive oil, not butter. That was your dinner out with your friends. now, we've got, just everything has been duplicated. And actually, that Beyond Burger thing and the Impossible, they're better. Let's face it, they're way better than the originals. That's not, I don't think, a biased opinion, so it's never been easier to be vegan, but at the same time, it's never been harder, because you can really lose yourself and be, pretty unhealthy that way too.
Right. And those foods are really, every now and then, because really you should be on a whole food plant-based diet,
right?
And making sure that the oils, the sugars that you consume are minimal at best and things like that. And it's funny that you said that it's better than the original when you were talking about the burgers, because the truth is that, in my opinion, when you watch, when I used to be a meat eater, and as I watch society and my friends and colleagues, when they eat, their meat, their flesh that they eat that's on their plate is usually more of a holder for spices and sauces than
That's
anything
right.
else.
Yes. And, Will Tuttle talks about in the World Peace Diet, that's part of the cover up. They smoke it, they age it, they fry it, they bake it. They do all kinds of, they season it today. They do everything essentially to cover it up.
Literally cover it up.
literally cover it up. Yes.
So
how are we on time? How are we on time?
We're good. So anyway, I'm grateful that you joined us and that you gave us your journey into veganism and talked about your book. I think that people should go out and get it. It sounds like a wonderful book to read, not just if you're vegan, but anyone who wants to know about the adventure of not having an office space per se, but being out there and just your laptop and your phone.
I'm hoping that those who read it in the future, the idea is to inspire others to live what I call a CAPE life, CAPE, CAPE life, celebratory, adventurous, purposeful, and extraordinary. That's my wish for everyone. That's
awesome. Thank you, Philip. It was a pleasure talking to you and getting to know you a bit. And we'll see you again.
It's great to be with you. Thank you so much.
Bye-bye. Thank you for joining us on another episode of The Vegan Pulse. I am your host, Nancy Arenas. Remember to follow us on Facebook, check out our website, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. If you have a pulse, you have a purpose. Live vegan.